Today we're going to be retracing the steps of James Dean's last drive. And the first stop is right here off the side of Highway 99. This is where James Dean got a ticket in his 1955 550 Spyder Porsche. He was pulled over doing 65 and a 55. James Dean left his house in Hollywood, California on the way to a racetrack in Salinas, California. He was in his brand new 1955 Spyder Porsche, and he actually had a station wagon with a trailer following him. The initial plan was to tow the car over to the racetrack, but since it was brand new, they wanted to break it in and put some miles on the engine, so James Dean decided to drive it. This is right off the side of Highway 99. Right, if you go to the exit 3, it's about a mile south of that. You can see fans come here in honor of James Dean. You can see here's a pin. I'm not sure how they pinpointed this exact location. The speeding ticket, they often say this is James Dean's last autograph. But the speeding ticket says Highway 99. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't James Dean just take I-5? Well, great question. I-5 hadn't been built yet. He was pulled over at roughly 3:30 p.m. on September 30th, 1955. He had his mechanic in the car with him. His name was Rolf Wertritz. I can't pronounce that. And his stuntman friend Bill Hickman was driving the station wagon that was following him. So here's the location of James Dean's last speeding ticket. They made another stop after this on their way to Salinas, and we'll be going there next. But for now, I'll be leaving this. I remember this girl telling me a long time ago, she said, "My boyfriend looks like James Dean." And I said, "That's interesting. Didn't James Dean have a job?" Pretty cool knowing that pole 9217 was the location of James Dean's last speeding ticket. After receiving his speeding ticket just south of Mettler, California, he would have proceeded Highway 166 due west to Maricopa, and then proceeding north on Highway 33 all the way up to a place called Blackwell's Corner. And this is our next destination. Nestled in a perfect location, smack dab in the middle of nowhere. This is where James Dean stopped, and he met up with a couple other racers, a guy named Lance Reventlow and Bruce Kessler. The plan was stop here, get some refreshments. This is probably the last time James Dean checked his Instagram or his Facebook. Speaking of refreshments, I'm gonna stop here and get some myself. Inside Blackwell's Corner now. This place is very big. It's like they have a whole wall dedicated to James Dean. You know, truth be told, I've never seen a James Dean movie. I know it's Rebel Without a Cause. That's it. I actually can't name another one. But it's weird because he's such part of the pop culture. Everyone knows who James Dean is, you know, whether it be the famous diner photo or the iconic lean with the cigarette. He was just such a cool guy, and I think part of the reason he's so popular is because he died. He was only 24 when he died. Some more memorabilia over here. So somebody found James Dean's goggles after 62 years. That's what Blackwell's Corner looked like back then. It's quite a bit different than it does now. We have this cool 1950s looking diner here. It looks like store brand Elvis there. It's a great value Elvis. Girl next door, Marilyn Monroe. Who's that? John Kreese from Cobra Kai and Steven Seagal. Pretty eclectic bunch. Just the essentials of cinnamon bears and this Rottweiler sculpture. That's pretty cool, you know. I just used the last bathroom that James Dean probably used. After leaving Blackwell's Corner, the plan was to go to Paso Robles to meet for dinner. Unfortunately, we know that James Dean never made it there. He left this Blackwell's Corner at a high rate of speed, leaving behind the station wagon that was following him. He made it about a half an hour up the road to the intersection of Highway 46 and Highway 41, and that is our next destination. Probably not a good sign. We are at the crash site of James Dean. This is at the intersection of Highway 41 and 46. You can see here on the left is a roadside memorial. People bring things to pay their respects, and oddly enough, I'm noticing a lot of girls bring their bras to pay respect to James Dean. If you saw that snake on the ground, you know why I'm not going to get any closer than this. I just came from that direction up there on the hill, the same way James Dean would have been coming, and headed to Paso Robles this way. A 23-year-old named Donald Turnipseed was coming back this direction, and he's going to make a left onto Highway 41. He didn't see James Dean and pulled out right in front of him, hitting his Porsche. So the reason people leave their things here is they believe this is where the Porsche came to rest, but there's some debate as to the exact location of where it happened at, since it was if you want to be technical about it, chances are his Porsche came to rest further up the road. But I don't know about you, I'm not about to come here and put my bra in the middle of the road to pay my respects. So if you want to come here, visit it for yourself, here it is. Like I said, it's about a half hour past the middle of nowhere. And this is the location. This is the exact location where James Dean lost his life. He was traveling with his mechanic, who was in the passenger seat. The mechanic survived the crash. He was badly injured, but he survived. Donald Turnipseed, the driver of the other car that hit James Dean, he survived as well. So just about a quarter mile down the road, for reference, the intersection that he was killed at was right up the road, is a memorial. I was wrong about his time of death. It says 5:59, September 30th, 1955. You can come here and put your bras without having to worry about getting hit by a car. Not sure why people put pennies on here, but apparently that's the thing to do. It says this was made July 4th, 1983. I believe his car was taken here after the wreck. There was a garage. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed retracing the steps of James Dean's last drive.